What's going on, you guys? It's John again. Welcome back to the channel. You could have clicked any video on the internet, but you chose to click this one. So before we get into today's topic of you will outgrow people, the reason why you clicked the video, I just want to point out one thing that's obvious. If you guys have watched any of my videos in the past, you guys know that I've been shooting them on my cell phone. And so the video and audio quality hasn't been anywhere near this good, what you're seeing right now. And the reason for that is because I am shooting this video on my Canon EOS R8 and I'm using a Hollyland Lark wireless microphone, okay? For those of you guys that don't know, just for some context, I am a videographer and editor. I'm a professional videographer and editor. And so, I do happen to own a fairly professional camera and some lighting equipment and some microphone equipment. So I just figured, you know what? If I own this stuff, I may as well just put it to use in these videos too. So that's why this video looks as good as it does and sounds as good as it does. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is probably going to be the new format moving forward for these videos, so hopefully you guys like it. So as far as today's video topic, which is you will outgrow people in this life. Guys, this is the truest thing in the world. And what I mean by outgrowing people is when you're someone, guys, who wants to go after something in life, you're somebody that has a dream, you're somebody that has a goal, you're somebody that has aspirations, things that you want to achieve in this brief time while you're on planet Earth. When you're someone that goes after these things and does these type of things, you are going to outgrow a lot of people, okay? And especially if you're someone who comes from kind of a smaller town or a smaller city or a smaller area where a lot of people know each other and a lot of people kind of stay connected and nobody really goes and achieves anything too crazy. Everybody just kind of stays low and, we can't outgrow each other, none of this, we all got to stay the same and just stay in this low self-esteem state where nobody ever does anything for real in life and all this kind of stuff. When you're the person, guys, that actually decides that you're going to go after things and do things and pursue what you want to pursue in life, the result of that is going to be that you are going to unintentionally outgrow a lot of these people, guys, okay? And it's not your fault. You're not the bad guy. You're not a bad guy at all. You're just pursuing your goals. You're just pursuing your dreams while all these other people aren't. And so when you inevitably begin to outgrow these people, guys, what's going to happen is a lot of these individuals are going to start to paint you as the bad guy or the bad girl. They're going to start to paint you as the villain, right? They're going to start to say things like, who does she think she is? Who does he think he is? He or she must think they're just so great. He or she thinks they're better than us. What do they think they're going to do? You know what I mean? They're just like us. What in the world are they doing differently that I'm not doing? All this sort of different stuff. They're going to try to paint you as the villain, right? And that's the thing about it, guys, is that a lot of these people, they're going to turn their backs on you. They're going to turn their backs on you because in their mind, you turned your back on them. But that's not the truth at all. That's not what happened at all. You just pursued your goals and dreams and grew as a person because of it. You're not even thinking about them at all. You have no hard feelings toward them whatsoever, zero hard feelings at all. It's them that have the problem with you. That's really the truth. They are jealous of you because you're showing them what is possible in life. You're showing them what somebody can really do in life if they're determined and obsessed with whatever it is that they're obsessed with. You know what I mean? You have no hard feelings toward these individuals at all. They are the ones that feel a certain type of way about you. They feel emotional about you. You make these people emotional. And you're not even trying to. You're literally just living your life. That's all you're doing. You're just living your life and pursuing the things you want to pursue in life. That's all you're doing. And putting in the work necessary to achieve the things you want to achieve. And you're just going after something. You're just outgrowing them. That's what you're doing. You're outgrowing these people, guys. And I'm here to tell you that if you're that person, you are not the bad person at all. In fact, you're the good person. You are a good person if you're doing this kind of stuff, because what you're doing, the reason these people feel this way about you guys is because you're showing them what's possible in life. You are showing them what someone can actually do and achieve if they're willing to put in the work necessary to achieve said thing. And they don't want to see that. They don't want to see that, guys. These other people that hate you because you're outgrowing them, they don't want you to do it. They don't want you to outgrow them. They don't want you to do better than them in life. People want to see you do good, but not better than them. So when you start to outdo them in some way, you are showing them what they didn't do. You're showing them what they're not doing, and they hate that. They don't want to see that. A lot of these people, guys, they just want to remain connected with the same people that they grew up with and went to high school with, and just you know, stay in this state where nobody ever does anything, and everybody just stays kind of who they always were when they were kids, and just gets older and older, and nothing ever changes, and that kind of thing. When you're pursuing your goals and you're growing as a person, you are always changing as a person. You're always growing. And so when you're that way, you are always going to be that mirror that these people don't want to look into, because you are a reminder of everything that they didn't do in life and are not doing every day. But see, here's the thing about it too, is that anybody can achieve almost anything they want in life if they are willing to put in the work and do what's necessary to achieve those things. And you, as the person that's doing all those things, is shining a light on these other people who don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Maybe they just want to sit around and play video games all day. Maybe they just want to sit around and gossip all day long with people. Maybe they want to just sit around and watch TV shows they've seen a million times, like over and over and over, you know? That they don't want to do anything. They're living in fear, guys. These types of people live in fear. And a lot of these people, I'll even say, are narcissistic too. They don't want to grow, guys. They don't want to grow. They don't want to learn. They don't want to integrate wisdom. They don't want to face themselves. Guys, when you continue to grow and outgrow people in life, you are forcing these people that you're outgrowing to face themselves ultimately. And facing yourself in life, guys, for people whose lives are not turning out the way they wanted it to, or for people who gave up on their dreams, people who gave up on their aspirations and things like that, when you're a mirror, they don't want to look into you. They don't want to look into that. They don't want to see that. They don't want to be reminded of how much of a failure their life is ultimately. They don't want to be reminded of that. But whenever you are that person, you're essentially a walking mirror. That's who you are. You are the person that is the reminder of all the things that they didn't do in life, and all the things that they could have done in life and that they just didn't do. So I'm here to tell you that, number one, you're not the villain if you're outgrowing people. Number two, if you are outgrowing people in your life, you are doing the right thing, okay? You are on a good trajectory in life. You are going places. You are doing the things you want to do. You are pursuing and potentially achieving, and very likely going to achieve, what you set out to do on this planet and in this life. And so if you are outgrowing people, you're doing the right thing. You're doing something right. And for all these people that are not outgrowing people at all, you are not doing something right, guys. Okay, these people that don't outgrow anybody, they're staying connected with like all their high school friends and all these people they grew up with. They're just on a low vibration constantly. They're not upgrading their life in any way. They're not doing something right. Okay, I promise you. In 10 years, in 15 years, they're gonna have a lot of regrets. You know what I mean? They're gonna be in a state where they're thinking to themselves, well, you know, I didn't do this. If maybe I would have done this, maybe my life would have turned out differently. But instead of, you know, being in the moment and thinking, what can I do right now to improve my life? They're just going to sit around and be lethargic and not do anything about it. And then in 15, 20 years, 30 years, then they're going to be thinking about how much they wasted their life. But you're not doing any of that. You're choosing not to waste your life. You're choosing to go after goals and things in that nature. And the result of that, guys, is you are just, by the very nature of how this works, you are going to outgrow all these people, guys. You're going to outgrow all these people, and they're all going to hate you for it. They're all going to paint you as the villain. They're all going to be jealous of you and all this sort of stuff. But guys, there's no point of being a jealous person, because we all have a life right in front of us that we can do what we want with. So if people are jealous of you, what they're essentially telling you by that is, I didn't do what I was supposed to do in life, and you did, and you make me feel bad because of that. That's what that really means, guys. And it's not like you have to cut off all of these people that you grew up around. There may be some, like very few people that get you and understand you and you can stay in contact with. But if they're not growing at all and you are, well, you're just not going to be compatible. That's not how this works, guys. That's not how human beings work. If you're a person who grows and you grew up around someone who is not growing, you're no longer going to be able to understand each other. You have a completely different way of interacting with the world. One of you is constantly growing and evolving and learning and shit like this, whereas the other one is fragile, the other one is defensive, the other one is in an ego protection mode against reality. One of you is experiencing reality to the fullest. The other one doesn't want anything to do with reality, you see? So if you're around these people and you're ultimately outgrowing a lot of them, but you want to stay in contact with some of them, or some of them want to like cling on to you, it's not really going to work unless those people that want to stay connected with you are also growing themselves, okay? If they're not growing and you are, unfortunately, you're just not going to be able to keep them around. You're not going to be able to connect with one another anymore because you're completely different types of people. It's almost like you're a completely different species of human. You're a totally different animal completely. You're success-minded, you're driven, and the other person is not. The other person has no interest in that kind of thing at all. They just want to exist. They just want to exist, and they actually get worse with age, whereas the success-minded person typically gets better with age. It is totally opposite dispositions to reality. You're a completely different animal. So yeah, that's kind of the video. When you pursue goals and go after things in life and are serious about your life and you're pursuing your dreams, guys, you never gave up on your dreams. You stayed who you were always. You're gonna outgrow people, and that's okay, and that's a good thing. So don't feel bad for outgrowing people, guys. That's the nature of pursuing dreams and pursuing goals and this sort of thing. That's gonna happen, and you have to just be okay with it, guys. You're gonna meet a lot of people in life. You're gonna meet a lot of people in life. It's okay to meet new people. It's okay to outgrow a lot of your old friends or so-called friends, right? It's totally fine, and you'll be just fine. So that's the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like and a comment, and potentially consider subscribing if you guys like my content. So I'm John, and I'll see you guys in the next one.